And we're live. There we go.
All right then.
I'm gonna get rid of the list because it's outdated.
Horribly outdated.
Horribly outdated, yeah. For anybody who joins the stream right now, this is going to be the last show we do. Not entirely, like the last show we do until December. Because I'm going over to Seattle to have Thanksgiving with my family. Hello, Elementalist. Welcome to the podcast. And, we don't know how well Rev's audio is going to be this episode, so this is going to be, like, really quick and short. We do want to get this out here. Everything that we have right now is outdated because we've been so frustrated with all this.
Yeah.
So enjoy the show.
Yeah, so this is going to be the first left for random talk off the cuff. There is no scripting. There is nothing.
There was never really scripting. Like, the list is just there to, like, keep us focused. Other than that, we just wing it.
But this is just pure off the cuff, just talking for the sake of talking, I suppose. The only things we're going to probably be covering is, I guess, the last two topics we had for last week. Mm-hmm. The monthly things, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Will Rev turn into another Transformer? Very likely. And let's be honest, there's really nothing we can do about that.
Yes, unfortunately.
We might have some ideas on how to fix it, or at least get him some better equipment, but we're still thinking on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Good news is I am only like 2 banks away from finally getting that donation link back. I just need to make a choice, Hapo or Gisa, and that's it.
Speaking of which, so I gotta ask, what's our bigger viewership? Like, who watches us more on Twitch or YouTube?
I would have to really look at the analytics for that one.
All right.
Twitch and open my dashboard. That's not the dashboard I was looking for.
It's filled with
stream
porn.
Summary.
Wonderful.
Average. Oh, that's painful.
What?
My max viewer. Oh, wait a minute. So that's just from like last stream. Like, I only had 1 viewer from last stream. The max viewers I had from last time was 2.
What, on Twitch or here?
Twitch, yeah.
Jesus Christ. I thought we had 400 people.
But overall, we've had 82 live views, but my average viewer has been like 0.8. If I open Restream, I can get a better look at this. It'd probably be a smarter idea. Welcome to Left for Random Talk, where we talk about games. Here, we're going to show you some analytics about what we're doing.
Exactly. Because, goddammit, we're screwed on all fronts.
Twitch, 2. YouTube, 10. Picardo, 0.
Okay, so it's official. I guess our hub site
is YouTube, even though YouTube is like kind of imploding whenever we stream.
Yeah.
Oh wow, your audio has actually been working really great right now. Now they've pointed it out, I know. Now they've pointed out it's gonna fail.
Yeah. So just give it a moment. The meteor's just gonna pass over my house again. You'll see. You just wait.
I had it set for the week, all time. Twitch, 47. Picardo, 3. YouTube, 139.
Okay, we're staying on YouTube.
What emote is what? It even looks at like the trending emote, and for YouTube it's blank, and then whale.
So yeah, it's official. We are now going to be solely based on YouTube.
No, we're not.
Oh.
We are not solely basing on YouTube. Sooner or later, we are going to move over to Twitch rather than YouTube. Just depends
I get
where
it.
either side goes. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, going into what we're going to do. So last week you were going to get into Arc Extinction.
Yeah. For those of you who know me, I love dinosaurs, I love dragons, fantasy. Whenever it comes to like certain sandbox games, I'm the one that talks about them. Except if it's Gmod, then Rev takes over. There is a game. It's a beautiful game, but it's also a very, very large game, both in files and just the grand scale of things, called Ark Survival Evolved. It has been around for a very long time, just being in development. And I'm just going to say, like, in simple terms, recently they had their final story DLC. Let me open the store page here.
Which is called Extinction.
Arc Extinction. So where you start out in the game is a map called the Island. And I'm just going to go in order of where you ascend and where the story goes. You beat the bosses there, you move on to the next story map, which is Scorched Earth, which is a desert. And personally, one of my favorites, because I was so excited to see that. After that, you beat the bosses, and you ascend to a broken arc. Oh, that's an expansion map. What did I click?
It's like expand on, yes?
I know. Stop jinxing it, Elementalist. You almost can't hear the smile of anger and pain over here. But anyway, you beat the bosses in Scorched Earth, which is like a manticore and a dragon, by the way. And you ascend to a damaged, broken, falling apart, and absolutely ruined arc that is labeled aberration. There's radiation everywhere. There are creatures with bioluminescent. You can't go up to the surface where the sun is because you will burn to death. It is dark. It is dangerous. You are underground. Something has gone wrong. Well, you beat the only boss there, which is the guy that caused most of the mess. And you ascend to the final expansion, which is Extinction. This one is set on Earth. And similar to the previous map, it is broken, destroyed, and absolutely fucked up.
So
Earth
this
is not
an arc then.
Yeah. This is not an arc. No. This is on Earth itself.
Okay.
Earth is dying, essentially. And I understand the story now.
Alright, shoot.
Well, let me put up the spoiler warning.
Yes, let me get the sign that's with the giant spoilers on it.
And this time it's really pretty colored. Yay!
Yes, because we update shit.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This material called element is a natural substance. It is very tough metal. Well, it looks and feels like metal, but it shines, it glows, it's near indestructible. But it can be liquefied. Don't know how, but it can. And they learned that it acts similar to a plant, where every now and then, when you use it, it plumes, it germinates, it pollinates itself and spreads itself all over the earth and goes crazy. Throughout the trailer, throughout the map, you see buildings and structures that look like roots just jutting out of the ground or splitting the earth apart. And that is element. That is solidified element. Hold on.
Well, you mentioned that somehow it turns into a liquid, and what I think is... This sounds like maybe it's like vibration-based or something like that.
I have a theory that it's radiation-based. Like the guy that causes all that absolute hell in a aberration. His name is Rockwell, and he touches a sample of the stuff, like, just a tiny little piece of this stuff, and he loses his goddamn mind. And when you play aberration, you can't just simply walk through liquid element, as it is radioactive and it will kill you very quickly. Just not as quick as lava, which just doesn't make sense. But
yeah, it doesn't make sense, because there's if you look at lava from a real point of view, you burn.
yeah,
It's not even the second you touch it; it's the second time that skin makes contact into it, because we're covered in gas. We're covered in all this
oil and
natural,
stuff like that.
Yeah, and that evaporates, and it's gone. The second time, your limb's gonna be gone completely.
Like, somebody actually analyzed that scene at the end of Lord of the Rings 3. Those two would have been dead just by proximity.
Yes.
Like, lava is insanely hot, and you will burn just from being near it. You don't even have to touch it, just by being close. But with element, it's radioactive, and radiation is just as dangerous as lava. The thing is, it'll kill you faster than lava will.
Yes, depending on the level of exposure.
Mm-hmm. But in Ark, and this is the thing that I call utter bullshit on, if you put yourself into God mode and creative mode, because you have to, just to get the actual benefits of being invulnerable and flying around, when you touch lava even a little bit, you will immediately die. And I haven't tested out with a liquid element because I don't have the aberration expansion, but I theorize that if you touch it, you will slowly die. Or
Yes,
very quick, or just immediately die. I don't know. I just know that if you're having to pass through one of those rivers, bring a creature with a lot of health.
I just think it's more along the lines of liquefied radiation damage over time.
Yeah. But essentially, Rockwell injects himself with this liquid substance. Talk about like complete idiocy. And mania, of course. He's an absolute maniac.
Remember the area the man's from?
Yes, I know.
They didn't exactly.
What's worse is that he injected this stuff into a bulb dog first, and then scoffed at them killing it because it was in so much pain.
Exactly. We're talking about an era where they thought that if something affected an animal, it wouldn't affect them.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stupidity we're dealing with here.
But here's the thing: the animal is put through so much pain, even mutates into a horrific beast, and he still injects it into himself. And in his mind, he is thinking, "I will inject this into my arm like it is cocaine, and I will turn into a god."
No. You know what that reminds me of? Flat out.
Wait, not cocaine. It's a heroin. That's it.
In Resident Evil 2, when William Birkins gets shot up to hell, his first thought is, let me inject my experimental virus, which I know is flawed, into my body, so it will save me. It's the same dumb bullshit.
Well, in a way, he's not wrong. He saved himself, but he did change.
Exactly.
He didn't die.
No, but there's like a split second in the original where after he injects himself, you see his eyes just light up, and that sudden realization of, I made a mistake.
Yeah. But essentially, you get to Earth, and there's no oceans anywhere. Well, there's water, but there's no oceans. There is no night cycle anymore. The moon is in pieces and floating around. And the Earth is just saturated all to hell with element. To the point where dinosaurs and creatures are corrupted with this substance. And I actually took a really close look at the dinosaurs that were corrupted, and oh my god, I feel so bad for them.
It looks like Venom, doesn't it? Like a symbiote
No,
growing on
no,
them.
no, no. It's so much worse. It's not that this stuff is
Oh.
just plastered on. That purple stuff that we're seeing is actually their flesh. It is actually like underneath their skin. It's like they're wearing their own skin, and like that stuff is just pulling as they're moving. So like the best way I
Oh.
can view it is like there's that really horrifying frog that where its babies come out of its back.
Oh, so it's like that.
It's like that. Caught between primetime and this stream. Watch primetime. It's a lot more funny than us.
Well, no, it's more interesting than us, is what I think what you're trying to say.
Yeah, because they're actually playing a game right now. We're just like 3D model standing in front of a background from Gmod. I should probably make a scene where everything is on fire.
Yeah, when everything just horribly breaks.
And also make
from either
scenes
end.
where it's like only one of us, just in case.
Yes. Well, that's the
anyway.
thing about it. Yeah, that's something I want to ask about. Now that you brought up the animals, does the expansion finally explain why there are just a bunch of dinosaurs everywhere?
It doesn't explain why they chose dinosaurs, but it did explain why there are arcs and what the arcs do.
All right.
So the arcs, like, they're actually chunks of Earth itself. These large structures grabbed chunks of the Earth and lifted them up in the air, preserving them in capsules. Humans are clones. Dinosaurs are clones. Everything is a clone until you get to Earth. You can still die and resurrect, but that's just because it's a game. Yeah. But there is like a central voice, a central brain controlling everything. And it's the reason why you're able to resurrect over and over and over again. But when you compare Earth to the arcs, there is no element on those arcs except when you kill the bosses. And the reason is because these structures destroy it, they clean it, they purify it, and absorb it and use it for their own sake. But they're the cure for Earth. And at the end of the game, at the end of the extinction expansion, you defeat the final boss, which is a giant kaiju, by the way, an absolutely massive kaiju.
Is it the one with like the horns on the sides of its head?
That's the Ice Titan. No.
Oh, okay.
There's a Titan of plant, one of the sky, and one of ice. Yeah, the giant Groot.
Yeah, I love the tree. Like, I haven't looked at Arc Extinction, like outside of some of the creatures and a little bit of like the things on YouTube, and someone was like showing off the Earth Titan.
Yeah.
And then they put in the kill command to kill it, and what I loved it how it died. Basically, it's like its whole body like takes a stand, or stands there for a moment. It dies, and you just see like the color fade and roots just suddenly growing all over it.
Yeah.
It's like a living statue, and I loved it.
It's like that scene from Hellboy.
Exactly.
But God, I'm getting so many notifications from groups that I don't care about.
Like,
oh, somebody is actually streaming Arc Extinction right now. Okay.
Oh, cool.
You kill the massive kaiju, who is the King Titan. You need to kill those guys, as they are the reason why Earth is failing so bad. They are spreading element like wildfire.
Yes.
But you kill them, and you get a cinematic of the platform you're standing on raises in the air, and the character from the story, Helena, the one who writes all the dossiers about all the creatures. So when you tame a creature, a book will open and show you all the information about it. It's flavor text mostly.
Yeah, we've all seen them, I think.
Yeah. If you look at like the Arc Wiki, it shows that picture in the corner of the creature, and it's all sketched on a book. That is her work. She also explains what the creatures are meant for. And you do find her journals scattered across the maps.
Again, which is smart. It's a good way of storytelling everything.
Yeah. But she actually shows up. This is the first time people will actually see her and hear her voice, as we've only known her through books. And she talks to us, and she's completely different. She's telling us that the arcs were meant to return. Everybody is meant to return and cure the earth. It's only through all these people returning through the arcs that earth will be saved.
Okay.
And we see the arc with the first ever map. You know, the island crash down. We see all these tribe people on their dinosaurs start leaving the arc and onto Earth. And now that the structure is there, it'll now that all these structures are returning, they're likely going to start cleaning and purifying the Earth the best they can. It's not going to be perfect, but they'll try.
So it's literally arcs.
Yeah, that's literally what they're meant. That's literally what they're meant to be.
No. Like, I'm thinking about it, and this is like some. Oh God! Imagine this, like, in this universe, like 100 years down the line, when people retell the story of the element and the arcs, there's going to be a lot of people who are just going to say, "No, that's bullshit. We came from this instead." You know that's going to happen.
Yeah, but the main reason why elements spread so quickly is because there was a war and everybody was using element-based items. And when they use element-based items, it just plumes and spreads and spreads and spreads. But the thing is, what is counteracting these arcs are the giant titans. So in the books, we meet a character that had died in the previous expansion and was resurrected. She finds the Chinese warrior I pointed out that you would probably like.
Mm-hmm.
And I kid you not, they get into giant battle mechs. They find the central brain. They learn what needs to be done. And during your time in Extinction to the final cinematic, the two are walking to the other side of the Earth to start doing work there too, because that's where another bunker is.
So this is just Pacific Rim, the sequel that we should have gotten.
It's weird. It's weird. If you've seen any videos about the mechs in Extinction, there are these little ones that can overheat when they move. You need 5 of them to make a kaiju fighting robot.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of them.
Yeah.
They look interesting.
Yeah, but there's one with a sword, there's one with a gun, etc., etc. They're all different, but when they combine, they turn into the giant mech that we see in the pictures, the ones actually fighting kaiju. So it's a bit like Power Rangers and Pacific Rim.
Oh
God. I prefer comparing it to Power Rangers, to be honest, than Voltron, because I've never seen Voltron.
I want a I want to see now a Arc Power Rangers spoof series, please.
There's likely going to be one someday soon. Just saying. I'm going to grab some of the pictures I sent in the Discord. See if we can find them. I'm still sad that I lost my owl.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So I've seen a few things from Arc. I've seen some of the Extinction stuff, and I have to ask now, and this is just from my point of view. Do you think that this is like the end for Arc? Like, do you think that after this, the player base is just not going to be there anymore?
No.
No.
I didn't get to finish the cinematic.
Oh, sorry.
I think I might know what's going to happen next. Because, as I said, all the arcs are returning, so this would also include the ruined one. And when you defeat Rockwell in Aberration, he sinks underneath the element. And in the ending cinematic, it shows the ruined Ark, and you can faintly hear someone say, "I am coming for you." I don't think Rockwell's dead.
No, I doubt it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if he's stupid enough to do this, he's stupid enough to come back. Well, that's the other thing I want to ask then. So if this is technically supposed to be the last expansion for Ark, how do you think they're go about doing the next big thing for the game?
I don't know. Nope. What's going to
I
pain me is it's likely going to be something I have to buy to continue.
Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. These guys that made this game, massive kudos to them. Like you
Oh
won't
yeah.
hear me, like you will not hear me say they cheaped or they cheaped out on that. Hell no. These fuckers deserve every penny they got for this entire thing. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
That said, what they do, their practices, is rather scummy. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Because charging this much is
Charging
just
that
obscene.
much money just for just for a DLC.
Yes, is obscene, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, you've got the numbers and you've got a dedicated player base in and of itself. I'm sure you would make a good amount of money to keep doing this shit if you charge less. That's all I'm saying. Moderation, it is a good thing. Plus, here's the other thing. If you do it like this, you give people you don't charge people so much and actually give them something um, at a decent price, um, more people are going to come and play. More
Yeah.
people are going to come and buy. Why do you think Warframe is so popular? You know?
Mm-hmm. I'm just showing like the images of like what Earth looks like right now. So we got like the ruined city. Rest in peace, Snowy.
Yes. Actually, again, this is a very. I'm going to be honest. This is very creative.
Yeah.
Like the entire concept, this
I
whole
think
element stuff.
I think I might understand where they got the inspiration for the city though. There's a map, like a fan made map that has a city and actual NPCs in it. And it's
All right.
really well done. Like really well designed.
Hmm.
And like while the promotion images only showed the city, they also did a lot of work on the terrain around it. But the city is like segmented. There's a very shiny, very flashy neon sign looking city where people can party. They can actually buy hover bikes, which you can use. There's trains that actually float here and there. And then you go underneath and there's the scums. It's all made of like botched together pieces of metal and tires, and obviously there's the flaming barrel motifs here and there. And then like you'll find a crowd of people repeating over and over again, like they need to rebel and over all this stuff. And there's like androids walking around too.
So they've actually added NPCs
Yeah,
to this.
there are
NPCs.
There are NPCs in the map. It's really well done. I haven't been
That's
able to play it
impressive.
because I don't really want to. In the old versions, they had an AI that would chase you throughout the city.
I see. And so in in the new version, then they basically just copied that and added it in. I mean, NPCs and everything, or is this like just as barren as it looks?
I'm like the old development of the map was the AI chasing you, and then as it evolved, they got rid of the AI and just put in NPCs.
I see.
And with Ark Extinction, they now have a tech city, but there's nothing there but dinosaurs.
They could probably add NPCs, people you could interact with, and basically make it so, in order to stop players from like killing them and ruining it for everyone else, you can basically just have like the NPCs have a sort of what's the word? Like bullshit it and say, oh, they've got tech shields that make it so you can't harm them and just blah 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 blah. Just bullshit like that.
What would make sense is if like any NPC you find is actually wearing tech armor.
Yeah.
Because
Or isn't
there is a tech shield, but it's like the same. It's like the thing that you strap to your arm and hold up.
All right. Well, again, like I said, that kind of thing can work.
Nope, that's the same image. There it is.
This entire city honestly reminds me of something out of Nintendo, to be quite honest, like Star Fox.
I view it like Turok.
No,
like,
sorry, not
Turok makes
not
a lot
Star
more sense in that.
No, sorry, not Star Fox. Sorry, I meant to say Metroid.
Ah.
It looks like something out of like a Chozo city that's been just left behind for centuries.
It's either that or I Am Legend.
Or yeah, with the plant growing and everything. But I
Or
mean more like aesthetic.
The Last of Us, because that's even more destroyed.
Yeah, but no, I'm just talking more like the building's design in general. Is what I mean. Like this is like something very, very Nintendo Metroid-esque. Where that's the thing I want to say about Nintendo. When it comes to like sci-fi settings, they really do go in and try to make something truly unique and not cookie cutter from every other sci-fi property.
The only cookie cutter is like the character they use.
Or the general gameplay setup of it all, which is like, oh, go to this area, pick up this thing, and
yeah, but they like add stuff into it. They add flavor and flair to it, so it doesn't feel like it.
Exactly.
Anyway, the city. Glad you pointed it out. The city is not the only one out there. There's been like many cities similar to it. They're called Sanctuary, and there's these 3 types of robots that roam around. There's a little floating drone that acts like those little observers from Half-Life 2 that take pictures of you. Only difference is like when they see you, they will call for reinforcements. And then there's a roller that's similar to the wheelie droids from Star Wars. As they curl into a ball and roll after you, which I found very funny.
Yeah, I've seen those. Nick Out, a guy who used to do the Warframe models for Gmod and has kind of moved to Source Filmmaker, actually released those robots in Source Filmmaker. And I've seen them. I honestly thought there was some sort of like bio-organic alien critter, to be quite honest. Because it looks more alien and organic than it does like something man-made.
Yeah.
At least to me.
But it's odd to see to know that all this element stuff and the element-based creatures are man-made. But the wheelie ones, don't bother killing them. If you're looking for resources, they don't drop anything. Even if you use your pickaxe or your axe on them, you're not going to get anything. But the floating guys in the last one, which I also have a picture of, they drop something, so you can have them as, I guess you say, a pet or something to use. They're actually useful. The final one looks like a robotic xenomorph. It's called the Enforcer, and when you kill it, it'll have a chance to drop it'll always drop a blueprint for an Enforcer, and the level is very important. If it's something higher than 30, you're going to get a high level blueprint, which means your critter is going to be very powerful when you build it. So don't go for anything lower than 30, ever.
Good incentivization to challenge players, I think.
Yeah. But do know that if one of those little floaty drones sees you, they're going to call in a whole bunch of those things. I haven't had that happen yet, and I don't want to know what'll happen or what level they'll be.
Yet. The key word
there. Here's one of mine. This is like the first one I tamed or built. and they look very much like a xenomorph. They even walk on walls and upside down.
Mm.
But it's
I see it.
tricky.
I see. Yeah, again, and this design is where it kind of led to my thoughts that these weren't man-made. These were like something from another world entirely. Because look at the stuff under the armor. You know, it
Hmm.
looks like organic material.
Uh, everybody's theory when like our like early stages of Arc, like when the second expansion came out, everyone's theory was that we were on a survival show that aliens were watching, and that's
Mhm.
why they were like that's why humans can look so bizarre because
Oh,
they didn't understand what
sorry,
humans really looked like.
sorry. You bring up bizarre-looking humans, and I immediately think of when Vanos and his friends played Ark, and then they met Popeye.
Yeah. I think of Kraken when it comes to Arc,
Oh man, sorry,
Earthworm
I'm still
Jim,
thinking about
but that was everybody's theory is like why humans like when you the player created their character they could go so strange with it, but it
but
turns
no,
out that it wasn't the case.
no, they're all just clones, and that's another good way of explaining why people came out deformed. It's just the cloning process just bugged out that
Well,
day.
here's the thing: when Extinction was on its way to be released, they had some updates that permanently added robotic dinosaurs and some journals from the central brain that's controlling all of those arcs. It explains to you that it is seeing like everything that is happening in those arcs all at the exact same time. That is thousands and thousands and thousands of arcs, and having to clone and release billions upon billions of creatures and humans, and doing something like that for so long, the machine will wear down. It will start to falter. So that is probably why some players look so fucked up.
Yes, we can. Again, we can chalk that up to like genetic mutations
Mm-hmm.
or just
Mm-hmm.
accidents in general,
Yeah, this is
or
the second
maybe
one I tamed, by the way.
okay. I like these ones honestly. They look like something you could use as like a steed or a mount,
Oh, you
like a
definitely,
horse.
definitely. Um, I would suggest ranking up 3 levels: health, energy, stamina, and movement speed. Always do that. Because as amazing as these things are, if you get hit just right by a certain dinosaur, you will start to fail. So running away and teleporting is important, especially when it
All
comes
right,
to
all
the
right.
Velonosaurus. Those things are terrifying.
Yes. Personally, I like this explanation. I like the whole cloning aspect.
Hmm.
It gives a reason why dinosaurs can be in a modern setting. I like it. And I'm quite pleased by this now because for the longest time I was just like, if it's some bullshit that it's some new hidden island somewhere that's been isolated from the
I
end of the
was
world.
I I was concerned about that too,
Yeah, but
but
no, this is much better.
yeah. In the picture they have up right now, where we're flying by all these rooted things and that giant structure in the background, that is all element. The trees around me, the red things, are also infused with element, and you can also see a corrupted creature.
Yeah,
In
that
fact, like
purple
even the
thing right
owl
there.
I'm riding on has element built in.
Here's a question though, real quick, like from a story point of view. Do you think that what?
uh, Snow from our group chat, like the screen was half covered for her, so all she saw was "Rest in peace, Snow."
It's like, oh, you all didn't know Snow died recently.
She died from being a
We've all just been
weeaboo.
exactly. It's the great weeb invention.
Hmm.
No, no, but so what I was gonna ask was, from a story point of view, do you think that, um, well, no, I guess in general, like, do you think that this is a good thing now that dinosaurs are kind of like on Earth, since Earth is technically just dead as it is? Like, there's no natural life on it anymore.
Uh, other than the giant caterpillars and the snowy owls, I think it's good that there's dinosaurs.
Yeah, life started off this way, it'll probably start off again. Except now that there isn't no giant fuck you asteroid coming to the planet, maybe now the dinosaurs will evolve into something interesting. Like this is an interesting kind of like evolutionary deviation I want to see kind of unfold from this point
Mm-hmm.
on.
How ominous. Ah, crap. I typoed. Um, the picture I have up is just like a random giga with its tail sticking out of the ground. But you can also see the trees a little bit better, and also the corrupted wyvern and how its wings look right now.
Yeah.
That whole canyon was terrifying. Like, there's a section of the map that is all giga, all of it. There is a few rexes and some raptors and some wyverns, but out of like 3 raptors and rexes, you will have 20 gigas.
I'm sorry, I just thought of something. If someone ever was to do a machinima on Ark in general, they have to do it like in the format of walking with monsters or something like that.
That would actually
Because
be
that would
very
be
easy to
amazing.
do.
Yeah, but it would also be amazing just for the fact that this is something that lends itself for this kind of mockumentary shit.
Actually, what a person could do uh, is install play as the dinosaur, because that allows you to actually be the dinosaur, as though there was no rider on it to begin with. And you can
Yeah.
breed and have a pack with them, and just have somebody who's not a dinosaur and set to invisible to enemies. They could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it would it would likely be a very popular thing. And the only issue I see is the amount of time and recording you would have to do to make it all flow together. Because this is a rare instance of there is too much content to be for this kind of thing.
Oh, excuse me.
That's the only problem I see. That's the only problem I see with it, really.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Because
at least now throughout the maps, we understand why there's giant skeletons.
yeah, because of the Titans.
I can't believe I just deviated to that one. But I think when it comes to like the other maps that have the giant skeletons, I think what happened was like at one point a Titan tried to form, and the arcs being what they are, they snuffed it out. Whenever a civilization gets too powerful or the arc gets too dull, the entire thing will reset. It'll snuff everything out and reset, which is why we find destroyed ruins everywhere.
Which makes sense, and honestly, not another. That's also not a bad idea either. Again, it lends itself for this whole potential of maybe we're just another part of this whole cycle of arc extinction and rebirth within the arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's quite brilliant.
I have yet to fight any of the Titans. I planned to do that last time I was playing. I just needed to get some corrupted hearts, which is what you get from the Gigas and Rexes and all that.
Makes sense.
And I accidentally started an event that can happen if you get close to a supply drop. I don't know where it's coming from. But if you get close to a supply drop, they'll start doing a wave event where enemies will spawn in 5 waves and try to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I mentioned this yesterday while playing Warframe with the others, and wanted to ask like how much logic there was in it. You as the player need to defend a supply drop which has roughly 100,000 health. But if you punch it, it loses a tick of health. Your flabby little arms punching this giant thing that looks like it came from NASA just lost a single tick of health when you know it's going to be assaulted by corrupted dinos that go up 100 levels each time they show. I don't understand the logic there.
I stopped trying to make sense out of Arc from the get-go. And even now, with everything making sense, I'm still like, nah, it's Arc. Just deal with it.
What I found funnier is that when I punched it, it started bleeding. It's like you've seen those like capsules from NASA, like those little bells that drop. Like
Yeah.
if you flip them over, they look like a mushroom. Like it's that kind of shape. I'm punching this thing. It's much bigger than me, and it starts to bleed a little bit. But what sucks for me is that my game crashed during wave 4, and I was like face to
Oh,
face with like 10 Spinos and a wyvern flying over my head. When you do those events, um, you don't just need like really good weapons. You need an army of dinosaurs to defend that thing. Because it will spawn gigas. It will spawn like herbivores that are very angry. And this is the thing about corruption. Doesn't matter if they're herbivores or carnivores. They will attack everything. And I believe during the 4th and 5th wave, a special unit will spawn called an enraged triceratops. It is it's either no, it's not tech. It's not fully robotic. It is a corrupted dinosaur wearing tech armor and does so much damage. Like I saw it did 1,500 damage per headbutt because it wiped out
Jesus.
some spikes that I had put down in hopes of slowing them down. Just one headbutt and it was gone. And those spikes have 5,000 health.
I gotta say, Jesus.
Yeah. So what, like when you do those events and like let's say you don't really want to do the actual survival thing in Ark and you're in God and creative mode, you got to try and keep these things attention on yourself and away from the pod, as their
Well,
main
that's
focus is the pod unless you hit them and then they go, oh wait, there's this little thing over here, I'm just gonna go nibble on that. So when I do decide to play Ark, which is gonna be someday soon, probably tomorrow, I had to be very quick to put in some commands to save my ass. Luckily my owl is nowhere near there.
Anyway, yeah, I guess that pretty much sums up Arc in its entirety, at least in the extinction sense.
Yeah.
All right,
They
all right. Well,
we believe there will be a plan for a continued expansion, like a second half to it. And it's gonna break my
yeah.
heart if they're gonna have us buy it.
It's either that or it's likely just gonna be like things within extinction.
Hmm.
Like this is the next route is okay, instead of making you wait for another expansion, it's just going to be like minor things sprinkled in, like new creatures or a new area within the maps or just things like that. Like
I'm
how
hoping it's more
Warframe
like
does.
an we're gonna get to that in a second, Snow. Um, I'm hoping it's more of an expansion to the map because at the end of the cutscene, if you step outside, the arc isn't there, but the little device that's in your arm is gone.
Hmm.
I want them to just expand the map, just make it bigger. Because believe it or not, the map
Expand
is
more.
actually very tiny. And it fills up the entire map that you hold up to look at. But otherwise, it's confined.
Yeah, that's another thing about certain expansions. I'm surprised. You always find yourself surprised by the size of the maps,
Hmm.
and then what you might have thought was big, it's actually like kind of like, oh, this isn't that big.
The only map that I've been on that is actually surprisingly big is Ragnarok and Crystal
Hmm.
Isles, but that's a fan made map.
Yeah, again, to use Warframe as an example, like, you know, Plains of Ilion versus Fortuna, it's like, yeah, Fortuna is much larger than Plains, and we used to think that was big on its own. It's like you come back to it, it's like, wow, this doesn't feel as big as it used to.
You know, It feels so weird to go back to the plains for anything. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
Fortuna itself, it's big, but at the same time, it's actually very small.
Within its own reasons,
Yeah,
yes.
it's big in the sense of like how much um what's the best word to use? How much layer there is, how much meshing that they use to make the map itself. Because for the most part, you're going vertical. It's very tall, but otherwise,
Yes.
there's not very much ground there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
But I guess we should just jump into Warframe then, since we're
yeah.
already talking about it.
Rest in peace, Snowy.
So, so as everyone knows by now, about a week or so ago, Fortuna recently dropped, and people have been like just going mental and doing everything they can in it. That said, that said, oh, sorry, I just caught something on the YouTube replay for like the Twitch thing. I just caught it for a second. What did she say?
Um, theories on the big spider orbs in Fortuna.
Oh, so I should probably get into this. Me and a friend have been decoding corpus information within Fortuna, like just text and dialogue within some of the bases within it. And we found some interesting information. So, first off, the hyenas are classified as prototype anti-Tenno weapons, created by Nef Anyo, backed by Frode Beck. So, right off the bat, Nef doesn't own anything, technically. All this is being paid for by Beck himself, which is interesting.
Hmm.
Amongst them, we also found that a lot of the technology being used on Fortuna is advanced technology, just fresh off the assembly line. The new corpus, some of the proxies, and the coil wheels, or whatever they're called. Like they have a name, I just can't remember it right off the
Coils. There's
top.
coils.
Right, so just coils. These are
Well,
all
they have a full
highly,
name, but coils is easier.
yeah, well, the coils, all these things are just early production models. These things haven't even been implemented by the wider corpus yet. But there is talks about having them implemented further along.
Hmm.
The orbs, however, is what's interesting. According to some sources, the orbs are a new creation by the corpus and are being proven as of right now. These are like alpha model things.
They're like
And
they're being showcased the entire time we're there.
yes, exactly. And Profit Taker, Nefano's, I guess you could say, personal favorite, I suppose.
That's the one that walks around.
No, no, no.
Oh,
Profit
that's the one that's
Taker is,
stationary.
yes, exactly. According to what we've found, Neff has a specific affinity for Profit Taker, and some reports suggest that he's used it before to intimidate other companies into surrendering their assets to him. And even some have stated that they've never seen anything like this before, even questioning where Neff might have gotten it. So right off the bat, we know that Neff is like trying. He's a bully. He's basically trying to use these machines to bully other competitors into paying him or just surrendering their assets to him.
Yep.
Which isn't surprising, really,
Yep.
given who we're talking. But no. However, a slight bit of good news. Because these things are so new and so not fully developed, again, early production models, they have an issue with overheating. One of the orbs can actually be found in a little pond that is constantly boiling.
Yep.
And that's because it's been moving so much that its insides are being cooked horribly. And the reason why Profit Taker is stationary is because even moving from, I believe it's the space station or the enrichment labs, one or the other. But even moving from that location to Fortuna actually caused the machine to go into an extreme amount of heat to the point where now they have to ship in more coolant to bring it down to normal. Hence why we haven't encountered it outside of the main quest.
And then
The
there's that
little
one that's walking around the temple.
Yes, that one I suspect is like an upgrade. Like something that's recently just been finished and they're just getting it set up for something. Again, I think it's just stress testing at this point, to be completely honest.
And it's likely they found a way to like fix the overheating issue because that thing is constantly surrounded by a blizzard.
Exactly. It's possible that now that they can't, it's possible that Neff might start abandoning his whole terraforming of Fortuna and maybe just go into full on fuck it, let's just turn this place into a giant popsicle. At least that way my machines work.
Mm.
Again, which wouldn't surprise me. So onto Fortuna itself. Or sorry, yeah, the colony itself. What did you think about the Solaris?
I like it. I feel bad for legs, but I like it.
Poor
It's
legs.
not it's I'm actually kind of saddened that it's so small. But then again, when it
Really?
came to Cetus, you could get lost very easily.
I'm okay with the small size of Fortuna itself because it makes sense. This isn't people aren't going to be living here for comfortably. I even suspect that a lot of the residential areas they have is like just one bedroom and nothing else.
The residentials is right above us. It's all those boxes above us.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm pretty sure that's just one room,
Hmm.
which again wouldn't surprise me. The colony itself it's interesting, and I love the fact that wherever you go, you'll hear those incredibly annoying marketing advertisements everywhere.
So,
It's so horrible.
so every now and again, you know how Nefania will appear on the screen and start talking.
Yeah.
I was like walking over the legs, and one of the screens showed a Vox Solaris wearing a Nefania head and taunting him and like telling people to rebel. And then immediately afterwards, it shows that little animation of if you hear suspicious things, tell Nefania and you'll be paid. Just like
Mhm.
immediately afterwards.
It's like he knows that these broadcasts are happening, but he doesn't have any power to stop them. So the best he can do is like try to convince people to
Yeah.
rat on Vox.
I feel
It's
I
so
I
funny.
don't know how to feel about the one in the elevator though, where the Solaris is like willingly having Nefanio's hand on their shoulder and doing the thumbs up.
Yeah, that's just again, I don't think that's a real thing. I just think it's just a publicity thing.
Yeah, it
You know,
is. It's all
it's
propaganda.
to its purest form, really.
Yeah. I like the vent kids though.
The vent kids are. I was worried that they were all gonna look identical based on the whole what we saw in the dev stream, but I'm incredibly happy to see that at least some of
Corpus
them
Photoshop.
corpus exactly. You know what I want to see now? I want to see an anonymous spoof um like advertisement or something just play just for the fun of it. It's like wake up sheeple.
It's like suddenly
I want to
Clem
see that.
appears and he doesn't know why he's there.
Exactly. Yeah,
Garuda.
like right at
Yeah,
the
we'll
end.
get there in a second, LT.
Yeah, like right there, it's just a confused Clem when it says "Wake up, sheeple." But no,
Mm.
personally, like I said, I found the Vent Kids very interesting. I like them, their design. I like how they are. They're just kids, and I
Their
honestly
voices
just
kind of
can't.
throw me off a little bit. They sound older
They
than they
sound
are.
older. Yeah, and when I heard that, I was like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
okay then." But
Otherwise,
I
it was
like
good.
them. Yeah, yeah, they're all interesting. I do. However, whenever I saw the kids like kind of using the sticks to like bang on pieces of like tech in the background or something like that, I kept looking at that and my immediate thought was, are they gonna go into a walk song at any moment?
Are they gonna go what?
Are they going to go into the Ewok song at any moment?
No, there is actually a band that uses trash. They bang sticks against trash cans, like metal trash cans and plastic trash cans, to make music. And I think they're actually from Canada.
Okay.
I,
But
I
still,
just
it's
I just
just
remember them because like my church actually used to play them a lot.
oh wow. But yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like I'm creative. I did like that whole bit of I'm sorry. I'm
Aurora
sorry, that's funny.
Borealis. I want to know where that reference is from.
Simpsons.
Ah, okay. Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah, Ven kids have where yeah, that is very
That's concerning.
quite honest. Yeah, because you wonder it's like I don't even want to think about what they did to them. I really don't.
Hmm.
But given how actually if you go to talk with what is it, Rocky? Is her name?
Rocky, yeah.
But when you go to talk with Rocky, she mentions Thursby by name and even says that he's too big now to fit in the vents. And then you look at Thursby and you notice that his whole body's organic except for the head itself, which makes me wonder. It's like, is this what they do in Fortuna? Like when the kids are like at a certain age, they just separate the head, and then once they reach another age of maturity, they just replace it all with the mechanical head in
Yep.
general. Ugh. That's just weird.
Hmm.
That's just weird. No, but honestly, I enjoyed them. I love
I can't
bit of
understand them at all.
really.
Like it's not that I don't understand like Cockney accents or all that. I just don't understand the way they're formulating their sentences. I don't understand them.
Yeah, it's the sentence formulation that's
Yeah.
it's weird, but yet, but that's the thing. I again, I used to live in the UK,
Yeah.
and believe it or not, there were people who had a similar speech pattern to them. And again, since I've been there, I've kind of gotten used to it, so I'm not like too weirded out by these turns of phrases or anything. But at the same time, I get where you're coming from with this. Like the fuck.
The thing is like my family and I'm actually the one that caused this. We all really loved to watch BBC a lot. Like if I ever decide to watch TV, it's going to be a BBC show.
Right.
So I'm used to like how people in the UK talk from all over the place. It's just I'm not used to how these kids are formulating their sentences. And for
Yeah,
me,
it's like
it's like for me, it's hard for me to understand certain humors, certain ways of dialogue. So sometimes I'll tell Bill or Rev, can you please rewrite that sentence because I can't understand it.
fair enough. Honestly, I get. I also understand uh, what's going on here. It is kind of like the concept of the meme evolution. The concept of ideas and words can be translated in just simple phrases, and that's basically what's going on with these kids. How they say things, how they're
That
interpreting
and like they do say,
concepts.
we don't have any parents here, so we're gonna talk like this.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that they bring up an thing where what is it that they call it? Oh god, it's their terminology for like family or mind something. Mind sibling? No, no, it's something. But it's interesting because that terminology brings up what the corpus is. You see, the corpus are obsessed with DNA lineages stretching back to the origin.
Hmm.
Depending on your DNA depends on how where you're going to be placed in society in general. But since these kids don't have parents, they don't have that DNA connection point. So instead of focusing on the physical, they just focus on the mental, which is do we all share ideas? Do we all share concepts? Are we, unified in the sense of mind? Yes, then this is good enough for us. And I like that.
So they're a physical manifestation of Tumblr.
Yes, except not as crazy. And mostly, more interesting. Shots fired? Nah.
Didn't understand that.
Nah, never mind then. Moving on to legs for a second. I'm gonna be honest. We couldn't give him arms. We really couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for fuck's sake, people. I get it. Like, the Corpus Repo squads did a number on. Fine. But we seriously don't have enough, like, scrap or anything lying around to fast a pair of, like, crude arms? No, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if someone gives me a bounty to retrieve Grenier cybernetics for Thursby or legs, I'm gonna do it. Because the poor kid needs hands, damn it.
I want to know how he's assembling these MOAs with just his legs.
Well, that's the thing about Moa legs. They're incredibly articulate. So it's entirely possible that he's building it just by his feet alone.
Heap to the theme. Well, then again, we do see him like kind of looking at his feet and they bend like fingers, so.
Yeah. Which, again, isn't to keep the... Fair enough, fair enough. Still. Then let's give him some defenses, then. Instead of arms, let's just attach... Instead of arms, let's just attach two Moa guns to either stump of his... Donate.
No. Give him Osprey. Give him Osprey arms so he can just float in a T-pose. Like he floats by a T-pose, his legs are all scrunched up. He goes, "I'm a bird." But no.
he's asserting dominance by T-posing.
Oh my god! I was about to say something, but I forgot what it was.
It'll come back, I'm sure. Still, and instead of that, then why not just give him a pair of Moa guns? Like, just attach them to this where the arms normally go. There, he's got something to defend him. Just pew pew.
Raptors are pretty much ospreys. They're just very, very large.
Yeah, and
I don't think the Solaris would be able to get their hands on fucking Raptor and Ambulus bits.
Have you seen the shit we've been destroying out there?
Yes, but all they want are pieces of fish. That's all they want. No, that's actually a better idea. Take one of the fish and attach it to your stumps.
No, I have fish hands.
Specifically, like those Orkin ones that look like grabby fingers.
Exactly.
That'd be terrifying. Oh, that reminds me. I have some pictures I need to share with you.
Sure. But yes, like, fear me and my creepy Orkin grabby hands.
Recently in Fortuna, we did learn something that somebody else had experienced, and I give all credit to them. Where they were in the enrichment labs, and a sentient came to life.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm trying to find their name so we can actually give credit, because I'm a part of a Inexpensive Gamers Discord. He's an awesome guy, by the way. He's very funny.
Yeah, hold on a sec. LT, yeah, we did cover those. I mentioned these are early prototype shit. So yeah, you know what? Why not? Let's just rip those apart and just give them to there. You hands.
No, it's like they misinterpret what you're wanting to do, so they turn him into a four-legged thing.
Now he truly is legs.
Okay, here it is. It's from Violet from Inexpensive Gamers Discord. But essentially, while they were playing, suddenly a sentient from one of the dissection tables came to life. And it nearly killed them. Did it actually show the jello?
Yes, it did. I saw that for a brief second.
So I have like these little scenes off to the side, which is why we're able to transition so smoothly into like different areas. One of them is called Transmission, where it shows a little jello bouncing happily while it says, "Please wait, we're changing games." Here we go.
Oh dear.
I can hear the commercial for Fallout 76. I know that song.
Oh god. Okay, he's seen the owls, yeah. Oh, hold up. Check this, check the box for a second. Oh, no, we're good, Never mind.
What?
That was just me. No, it was a hiccup on my end. We're good. Yeah, there it is. So that's the combo list, I think.
Yeah.
Or battle list.
When you go to these bases, you'll find a sentient float, like in suspended animation.
Oh yeah. Hold on. I actually too. I went to these labs and I just went image happy on everything.
Mhm.
I actually was able to bring down the barrier that kept it suspended in animation, and I got a good look at it. And it's different. It's more art than any other sentient we've ever seen.
LT, this was a rare. This is like a rare thing. This is the first time anybody's ever seen this happen.
Yeah, apparently it's possible, based on what Violet has just shown. It's entirely possible that sentience can now come to life, and I suspect this is possible if you security measures in the lab.
And then, like, after they shared this image, I shared it with Rev. We started theory crafting. We might have a good idea on what's happening here.
Yes.
Again, this is all just a theory. We don't know. We're not DE. We don't know what's going to happen, what they're planning. But there's a lot of potentials that could actually happen.
Exactly. So, go on.
I play on Fortuna a lot, actually, and I play as a Ivara, so I'm able to do things a lot easier than Rev can. So I'm able to get like surveillance photos, just get into places, take a picture, and share it with them when I find something concerning or cryptic or confusing or of interest. And I noticed that the Orican dig site has slabs of meat. And when you go throughout Fortuna, you'll see these trucks with slabs of meat hanging out of it. And everybody else has been saying, "Oh, this is from Cetus. This is from Cetus." It's not from Cetus. It is not from Cetus. It is from the Oregon Towers here.
Exactly. She showed it, and from what we've seen, this meat is more decayed. It's been dead for a while.
Yeah.
And Cetus is more fresh, plump. This is decayed, rotted.
Yep. Here's the picture. But when we think back on the Chimera quest, and those of you who haven't done Chimera, we're not going to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But when you look at the Chimera quest and you see what has happened, the only thing we will spoil is that we have learned that the sentients have found an alternate way to reproduce. That is taking organic matter and mutating it into one of their own.
Or something close to one of their own.
Mm-hmm. Here's the meat I was talking about.
Yeah. And this is what has sparked concern about the sentience here, and based on the Chimera quest. The sentience, what we're worried about is this. And technology is partially biomechanical. There's flesh, there's organic material within it. And this is where the concern comes in. If the sentients have now found a way to shape flesh into new sentient forms, or to replicate a sentient body type, then that means they now have an unlimited supply of this new substance on Valis, in the form of the Orican towers and the destroyed Orican machinery across Valis itself.
Then came a theory that I realized while we were talking about this, Nef Anio's corpus have dozens of these sentients on tables being dissected, being studied in the Orb Valis. And if this one has come to life, then it's likely not a single one of these things are actually dead, but transmitting information. Like, they are listening, they are watching what is happening around them, they are learning everything they can about the Orb Valis, and they are becoming aware of this massive source of free meat.
Yes.
So essentially, Nef Anio has given these guys open, like, a free way of finding the Valis, finding this meat, and getting whatever they want.
Not only that, but there's confirmation. Sorry, not confirmation. We also know this. Lotus's father, Hunhao, was blown to 1,000 pieces scattered across Uranus. He was still alive. And he was still alive. I doubt cutting up a sentient like this is gonna kill them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not dead. They're playing dead and waiting.
And Nefanio now has a beacon for all the rest.
Exactly. This idiot is so blinded by profit, he's failed to realize he's literally giving the devil of his people what they need to come back, and in bigger numbers.
Like, it's like, yeah, I know, LT. It's Uranus, dude.
Uranus, whatever.
Spread across Uranus. Oh my god. Anyway, the conversation essentially went, like, we questioned why they would be, well, pun not intended, sentient while they're there. Why are they still transmitting? And it's because of all this meat.
And disabled Orokin technology. Technology which is still active but doesn't have a way to be commanded, fired. Again, what's over the Orb Valis and over Fortuna itself is a massive network of Orokin defense towers, orbital cannons. These cannons are functional. These cannons still have the charge to fire, but they don't have a central command. There's no way to get these things activated unless you have the right technology and you have the Orokin DNA behind it.
Mm-hmm.
This place is weak and is a perfect target to start the new war. That's it. And unfortunately, the Solaris won't have any way of defending, not against sentients, not in this kind of wave or attack.
Here's another thing. I'm pretty sure, like, if somebody's listening, they're gonna say, "But wait a minute, didn't you just say the meat is rotting?" What we saw in Chimera is a very prime example as to why that does not matter at all. It doesn't matter if it's dead, if it's nearly molded over, or slime. They will do something with it, and it'll work.
Exactly. Not only that, but you also have the infest.
Mm-hmm.
That is flesh that can be shaped. There's no structure to it. And again, if the sentients could do that with a being that had structure and everything, they can do that to the infested, and worse, they could probably bend them to their will. Hell, maybe that's why the infestation failed to stop the sentients in the first place. Not to this exact extreme, but more along the lines of what's the word? But more along the lines of something similar, I want to say.
Yeah.
Disabling them just enough to use them.
I was gonna say something, I forgot again.
It's all right. But yeah, that's something we have to contend with now.
Oh, right. The Orokin dig site has this giant turbine-looking structure. I don't know what the hell that is, but it is Orokin. And when you go into the cave for the dig site, there is a strange-looking, I'm just going to call it a door, don't really know what it is, that you can't open.
Yeah, that's That's an Orican phase door or something close to it.
With
Little Duck has experience with it, believe it or not.
Well, if that
She
is there,
Go
then
ahead.
I'm even more concerned because where does it lead?
Well, that's the thing about it. It leads inside. That's the thing about them. It's a form of teleportation, but it's not like whenever we go to the void for a sabotage, right?
Yeah.
It brings us right back to Earth all of a sudden in some different place.
Hmm.
That's not the case with this kind of door. It will lead us inside the ship itself. It just depends where it will lead you to. It's like a hatch, if you will.
Mm.
Again, Little Duck, a mag, and a blind Ostron went through something similar. She knows how to open these doors.
Hopefully,
So if
Neff
we
never finds out.
he can't he doesn't know how to open, and any attempt to force it open will just the entire thing to self-destruct. That's something they made very clear in the comics. You can't brute force Orican technology or else it's going to destroy itself.
Yeah. But if there is a
Anyway,
day where he finds out how to open the door
we have to act.
immediately.
Like on the spot kind of act.
Mm.
Anyway, going back to, I guess, the Solaris. The other NPCs we met, out of all of them, who was the more interesting or the one you liked the most, I guess?
Okay, I like all of them. I like Rude Zood because she's crazy, and she's like Hawk because I love Hawk and how he treats Pedleg. I like the business because obviously animals conservation, and also he looks like a gun. Yeah, that's true, LT. I like what's his name? Sorry, her name. What's her name?
Yutiko?
No. The one that sells you bonds. I've already forgotten her name.
Oh, that's a dude.
No, it's a girl.
What? No.
No,
That is a guy's voice.
Rev. They're confirmed trans.
Oh.
Ticker, yeah, Ticker. That's her name. Ticker is
Like, it took me a
is confirmed trans. The thing is, like, people don't know if it's either they're female or transing male. But either way, I love Ticker. I like Legs, just because they rhyme all the time. I
Oh
just did
god,
it
the
myself.
rhyming.
And also, I do feel bad for him. I'm not so sure how to feel about Smokefinger, but I do like how angry he gets over rocks. I like Yutiko just for like the design of her head. It makes me think of a train.
Oh, that's mean.
No.
That's
Like,
very mean.
well, here's the thing. I love trains. I like all the structures around trains, and like her head looks like one of those lights that goes on when a train is passing.
Okay.
Plus, it also looks like a hat, like a baseball cap or something with a ponytail.
Well, that's kind of the point of her
Yeah,
head
I know.
design. She is the floor
Uh,
boss. So.
I really don't know how to feel about the Ven kids. I do like that they're rebellious and that they have a way of getting around without being seen or known. And they're always like like talking about how Neff is gonna flush out the vents, but he never does. I like Little Duck just because her name is a duck, and she's like the most badass of the Solaris.
Oh, you want to hear something pretty badass about her, believe it or not. In the comic, when she was working with the Mag, she actually shot off Captain Vor's key and stole it right from under him. And I mean, like, literally slid by and
Mm-hmm.
took it before running off. Like, that woman has marks on my book for that.
Yeah, like here's the thing. And compared to the other Solaris, she's the only second one that is doing a lot of work, like a lot of risky things. Like she knows that she's a Nef Anyo slave, but she's doing something that he would not approve of.
Yeah, she is a rebellious
Yeah, she is
individual, and
getting
one I
work
can
done.
respect.
She is fighting. She's being out there and changing things, while the Solaris are forced to do what they do.
LT
Regular.
regular Vor.
Regular.
the comic, The Awakening. It was pretty much confirmed. But anyway, that said, that's something I want to bring up. Well, not about what happened. I mean, about the NPCs. To be quite honest, they are very interesting. And out of all of them, well, actually, again, I did more digging and I found out a bit more what the Biz did before becoming what he is now. Turns
Organizing
out
the
he
extermination of life forms.
no, it turns out he was corpus military.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I picked it up on his terminology, the whole strategic deletion specifically.
Yeah.
Plus his plus his personality actually matches up with a individual that commanded a research output a few months ago before one of the individuals working for him went rogue and saved. Oh God, what's the name of the Warframe with the whips? What's her name? It's
Cora?
the back of my
Yeah,
mind.
Cora.
Yeah, yeah. He saved Cora's cat, but because the guy left, Biz got blamed for it, and thus what happened to him now. It's
Mm.
also why he knows, it's why he knows how to fight them effectively because he's used their tactics. Venari, yes, that's it. That's him. Sorry. Ugh.
That's the cat's name, yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, he is very much, he's interesting to me. I like him because he knows that there are times to be passive, but there are more times where you have to fight. And he's basically not screaming, but is basically yelling at Yutiko, Neff is a dick. He's still going to be a dick. This- Plus, I'll admit, my favorite line of him is him losing. He says it so nonchalantly. It's like, wait, where is it?
Where's my K-bomb?
Exactly. It's like,
I know, I know. I love how like excited he is when he says like that's why I have this K-bomb. And then like it's just he goes, where is my K-bomb? Just
yeah, he's like,
completely calm.
he's internally, like, you can hear him like, internally panicking about losing it. It's like, shit.
Yeah,
Did the
because
kid steal it?
if the K-bomb really is as dangerous as he as we're hearing, that's not a good thing to lose in a town full of good people.
Mm-hmm. Or worse, the kid stole it as a prank.
No gosh.
I wouldn't put it past them. I really wouldn't. Yeah, I've also done a bit of the, the, oh God, what's it called? Not hunting the animals.
Conservation, which is basically hunting.
Yeah,
You're basically
yeah, the
hunting them.
conservation.
Mm.
I did do it, but I suffered two glitches when I was doing it, and I should probably warn this.
Well,
So
what
I
were the
was hunting.
glitches? Just like because it's likely we've experienced them already.
All right. So when I was hunting the mice, right?
The what?
Um, the mice, the small
Pauber.
rodents, the prey, paupers. Yes. The I decided to scan them for a bit because I'm a paranoid fuck. Then I went to retrieve it. But as I was going through the text and trying to get to, push the exit on, when you capture an animal and you're just
Mm-hmm.
trying to get it out and exit, it Biz came back and said it got away, even though it's right in front of me. And I didn't get credit for the hunt.
What?
Yeah.
Huh.
Apparently well, that's the thing. With poppers, apparently you have to catch them immediately because the tranks wear off quickly on them.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I guess when you do it, I guess it doesn't register the fact that you've caught it. I guess it's still running on the tranquilizer ticking down kind of thing, apparently. My second, go ahead.
I was no. Go ahead.
Yeah. Uh, the second one I experienced was when I was hunting
Hmm.
and I shot at it, but the dart didn't register. So in panic, I shot with the dart gun, not with an actual gun. And yet, when it finally fell, I went to get it. But when I got there, it was dead. And I think this is a hidden little thing that.
No, they recently
Uh,
patched that.
oh, good. Because that scared me for a second. Because I thought I accidentally.
Yeah. Things to do when you're hunting any of these critters: bring Banshee. As if you bring Banshee and you hunt Paubers because they spawn in groups of 3, you can shoot one and they won't flee or panic, and then you can take your time shooting the other 2. 2, Ivara's sleep arrows and Equinox's rest work really well, but you can't do that while you're in a group because you will black screen.
All right.
Also, Loki's hush invisibility works too.
Hold on. With the first one, Banshee's thing, is it entirely possible to capture all 3 of them?
The only reason they scatter when you shoot one of them is because the tranq rifle is not silenced, and Banshee's passive makes all of your weapons silenced. So you can shoot one, wait patiently, then shoot another, wait patiently, and shoot another, and they won't scatter.
All right. Sorry, just saw what Snow said. Okay, good. Please let us know if.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. But that's the thing about it. I'm gonna be honest. This conservation is fun. I do enjoy hunting the little critters down and not having to kill them. It's quite nice. It's very
unlike in Cetus.
Yeah, where you are encouraged to get rid of, kill some of the animals. But that's the thing with Kuaka. That's fine. They are described as vermin that can multiply very quickly. They're rats, so you're just doing kind of pest control. The birds.
I found it very, very amusing that nobody knew that Kuakas have human faces. That's why I don't like Kuakas, and that's why I have one hanging upside down in my ship. I don't like the way it looks. A Pauber I would happily keep.
Yeah, those are cute. In a weird way. It's the mouse face. Anyway.
Also, that's another thing. I forgot to add this for the hunting thing. If you bring a Trinity, you can harmlessly have them suspended in the air, which is great for the Bolarolas because they have such a tiny target, which is their underbelly. But it'll float them up in the air, and you can just walk up, shoot them, and you got them.
Yeah, that's another thing. I also did try out the tranq rifle on just to see if there was kind of like a knockdown or sleep effect on it. There's not.
Nope, still bugged.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
The tranq rifle doesn't do very much damage to enemies.
It does jack shit. It's like you probably just take it out just to be a silly shit, but that's it.
What happens if you shoot one of the critters on the plains with that thing?
I haven't tried it. I want to see what it does.
Wasn't there talk that they were going to add critters to the plane for you to track down and rescue?
Maybe. If they do, that'd be very interesting.
Yeah, it would be a break from just murdering birds and critters. By the way, the Grenier are dicks. Just like for no reason they start shooting at the birds. I mean, I get the critters there are invasive and shouldn't be there, but still, it's a bird.
Oh. Well, that's another thing I want to know is if they do add critters to the plane, is it going to be new creatures we can like find, or is it just going to be the same koalas? Because that will get old real fast. Anyway.
Well, they keep saying there's Kubra out there, but there's no Kubra.
I'll give it a if they do add the Kubra, nice. At least in my point of view. Anyway, that said, I will say this, moving along from the biz, he is a good person you want to have when, like, co-hosting the rebellion, you know? He's got a good, I almost said head on his shoulders.
Here's the thing I don't understand.
Shoot.
The back room. Why the fuck is legs there?
Oh, that's probably because. Well, this is the thing I'm guessing. I think Legs decided to join the Solaris United, and since technically he's a unique individual and could inspire, has an ear to the public, I guess he's good for morale, maybe, or is pretty smart and knows how to hit the corpus, at least in terms of technology. I don't know.
You say that, but he did transmit to us on an open frequency.
Okay, there we go. LT brings up an interesting point. He wants revenge for them ripping him apart. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw Legs as he is now, I had horrible flashbacks to Gundam Thunderbolt and, the Living Dead division.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that and I immediately had a moment of pause and was like, no, no. Yeah, he was. And unfortunately, he did pay the price for it. It's a hard lesson to learn, but one. Again, and that's also what makes me think of the Living Dead. It's just that whole attitude, what they did, what became of them. And I pause, I see them everywhere, and I start freaking out. I start panicking, and I start worrying about the Solaris. Like, is this their fate? Are they just gonna start hacking their limbs off even more to weaponize themselves? That's the thing that got me really in a moment of panic, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
It kind of made me not want Solaris United to be a thing because I know where this road's going to lead. But at the same time, if they don't stand up for themselves, people like Neff are just going to keep walking on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, funny, I know, coming from the Zaku.
Coming from the guy
Hilarious.
who once said that he would happily replace his limbs with cybernetics to be a weapon.
Oh, I still do. I still do. That hasn't changed. That hasn't fucking changed. Done to other. Me,
You
I'm
would be
fine
that
with it.
mech from the first XCOM.
Yes. Yes, I would. And I'd be happy all the same.
Oh boy.
You mentioned Smokefinger as well.
Yeah.
He's interesting.
I like him.
I did try to look up some of his background, tried to figure out who he was becoming Smokefinger, but there was nothing.
I think he
of-
was just an analyst, like somebody who would like analyze the grounds around, like see what resources and minerals are around there, because he's so passionate about it. Like, it's kind of concerning how passionate he is.
Exactly, and honestly, I think that's what his role was.
DBs are full robots, LT.
No, I think what he means is that he wants
to look like one of them.
No. It's just his head on a DB's body.
Then he'd be a handyman.
Oh, God. Even worse.
I would not want to be a handyman.
No, but that's the thing. It's just outside of that, there's very little on Smoke, at least from what I could tell. As for, we found a workaround, sleep it with the Equinox and have another party member trinket. Good idea.
Oh, so that's not working, because when they said that you could do that before they had the hotfix, we did that and they still woke up. Is that fixed now?
I guess it is. Well, anyway, Ticker, on the other hand, I like them. They're interesting.
Every time I talk to Ticker, I start thinking of David Bowie. Just like the way he talks, and like how deep his voice is,
and the mannerisms a bit.
Mostly how they talk, and how they address you.
I swear, if Ticker starts dressing up like Ziggy Stardust, I'm done. I'm leaving Solaris.
I would find it a lot more amusing if they dressed up as the Goblin King.
Oh God!
But then again, in Overwatch, Moira dresses up as David Bowie.
Okay, I'm not surprised.
It fits. It fits
That's the thing.
somewhat.
But that's the thing about Ticker. I like they. I'm honestly. He does. Fucking hell, he does.
Yeah, he calls us Stardust. Yeah,
Motherfucker, that's like it is a David Bowie reference.
good on them for doing that though. He's a good guy.
Yeah, honestly, I like Ticker. He honestly hits me as this kind of the smuggler type, the very we'll say he talks a big talk, probably does some stuff, but at the end of the day has a heart of gold, and I respect them.
I bet he was one of those showcase guys, like a guy trying to show off a fancy car, like those kind of guys, like he stands on a stage and like he turns, he like does a flare with his hand and like ta-da, there's new Jackal. It's really shiny.
He was there when he was the Bursas, yes.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that sold it to them. Oh God, sorry, I was just thinking about something stupid. You mentioned showmen, and I immediately thought
What?
second, Metaton for a second.
Oh God.
I now want a crossover show between these two, and who can like out pizzazz the other. Oh Jesus. Yeah, I like Ticker. As for Rude, what was it? Zuma?
Rude Zood.
Rude Zood. She's interesting.
I want to know who's talking in her head.
I think it's her supplier or the person who gets the scrap metal to build the kit guns.
I think she just has a glitch in her head.
Possible. Still, it is interesting to speak with her, given how just insane she is. And you can hear like the mechanical ticking as well. I'm like, Jesus Christ, woman. It's like you have issues going on, don't you? Yeah, I also do feel a little sorry for her. Like she does say, I didn't want to sell guns, but here I am. Exactly. It's not like someone living in my ear. It's someone standing in my way.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. And I can't feel but yeah, I do feel sorry for her. I feel does mention she had aspirations for something else. But now she's just selling guns to people who just kill. I can feel, their plight.
So I noticed something about being out in the Valis with a Kubrau.
Shoot.
Kubrau's suddenly become very, 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 very dark. Almost solid black.
Issue.
Yeah. I wonder if they're ever going to fix the textures on them, because they still look ugly as hell. I feel bad for saying that because I love Beefy Cake.
Exactly. I just looked at what LT said. Balloons fall from the shove them off and let's get this done.
Oh my God. I'm just sharing some like images of my time in the Valis with Beefy Cake. And I forgot to send those pictures to you, right?
Oh yes, I see you've also have the broken dog. I see you've bought it off of oh God, I'm forgetting everything as of late. I see you've bought it off of the Naros.
Oh no. I know that reference. When you stand out in the Valis, you start like slowly gaining ice on your character. Kubrau's gain it so fast.
Oh God. Yeah, it kind of does.
No.
Yeah, this is a problem I think with the Valis' lighting system. Technically, everything there are like different levels in the Valis, bases and things of that nature. And I think this is just an instance of they're having trouble setting up the right lighting fixture for the Valis as its all.
I want to point out, any picture that shows Beefy Cake staying there covered in snow, we have only been standing there for like 2 minutes, and that's it.
All right.
And they're caked in the shit. But no, like, Beefy Cake is like red. She's naturally red. I realized that I colored her after Clifford. Because she is a giant dog, and she's red.
Sorry. Well, again, like I said, that's the problem with the Valis as a whole. The lighting system, I think, implemented. Because I remember going to the Temple of Prophet. I went into one room, and the next thing I know, it's just the fucking void.
Yeah.
It's pure blackness.
I was noticing that too. But like in an actual Corpus ship, I was doing a mission with a group. Oh, great. Football upstairs. A door
that
opened.
Looks good.
A door had opened. It's that hallway that has that long wall of glass that can break open.
Yeah.
And that tiny little room off to the side for like loot. Oh, the door opened and I couldn't see anything in it, but I knew there were bad guys behind there, but it was just empty void. And I resisted shooting it.
Jeez. By the way, that looks adorable. It looks like your dog just caught the vermin.
That's why I took a picture.
I've got it. I've got it now.
That's actually, like, for me, that would scare the hell out of me because Beefy Cake can do like 1,200 damage in one bite.
Jesus. Also, see you, Elementalist.
Have a good night, Elementalist. I'm not gonna have a nice Thanksgiving. I hate Thanksgiving.
Oh, jeez.
I love my family, but I also don't really want to travel. Because whenever I go to Seattle and we eat something, I suddenly feel very ill and I purge it like 2 minutes after I've eaten it.
All right. But no, that.
Anyway, there's. I did a mission, like some bounties with Lycan in the group, and I noticed when we were going back to Cetus that there was an empty void where the gate was.
Oh. Yeah. Speaking of speaking of the planes, I do want to bring this up real quick. The planes compared to the Valis is incredibly. Hold on. My God, what is wrong with my dog right now?
I know, I've been hearing him.
He's just been panicking because no one's home here, and he's like, "No, but where's everyone?" Yeah, but anyway, as you can imagine, like when you go to the plains, it feels so much more empty. And I mean, like in map size, like it's incredibly quick for you to like zoom from one part of the map to the other. And you start wondering, it's like, wow, this gave me so much trouble before. Now I can just walk wherever I want.
Yeah.
And also, I want to bring this up for everyone real quick. If you get the new Fortuna mining laser and take it to the plains, you're gonna just instantly find every fucking gem, resource, and mineral out there within seconds. I guarantee you. It's like a giant detection magnet, and it's insane. Like flat out. Like I went there recently, and I managed to get like 100, like 25 of the rarest gem in just one moment of looking. That is how good that mining tool is. It completely trivializes the plains of Eidolon. In fact, it's entirely possible for you to go there now and get everything in one trip and then just head back home. It's like, okay, I'm done. I haven't tested the new shock rod, though, on the water yet. I'm kind of scared to do it because I'm wondering, like, if I do it, will this completely just kill every fish in the water? Like, flat out.
Well, then again, people use Volt to fish, so.
Oh, Jesus. So it's a strong
That
possibility.
combined with the shock prod.
Oh, Jesus. This has broken the planes entirely, and I'm scared to know what happens when the next open world comes out. How those tools are gonna break the Valis. Speaking of the Valis, I do want to ask. There's a rare resource Little Duck accepts.
Toroids.
Has anyone figured out where these things spawn yet?
I listed it in the Warframe chat a long time ago. You have to scroll up a bit because people are dipshits. But no, the toroids for Little Duck. I'm actually gonna pin this message.
All right.
Yeah, pin that. So, swap teleport, also K drives, and yeah. Solo toroids drop from enemies near the Temple of Prophet, but if you do go in, you have a chance of just finding it on the ground in that cave. Calda toroids are from enemies near enrichment labs. Vega toroids are from enemies near spaceports. It's highly recommended. Ow! I just bit my tongue. It's highly recommended that you bring your warframes that you use for farming, so like Hydroid with Pilfering Swarm and Necros with Desecrate, and you bring companions that can help you survive and last the horrifying onslaught of nullifiers, scramblers, jackals, floating laser faces, hyenas.
Hold on a second. The fuck are you doing?
What?
Like, I've gone to these places and I've never encountered this shit. What are you doing?
Are you raising the danger level?
No.
You have to. You have to raise the danger level.
All right, fine. Then I'll raise the danger.
Because when you don't do that, like the enemies will stop spawning.
Sorry. I was just thinking something stupid. Like I go to do raise the immediately get swarmed by like 10 jackals. Like, oh my god.
Like that's the worst thing about the nullifiers in the Valis. They can actually give their companions bubbles. And at one point, Snow had desecrated and then revived a nullifier, and that nullifier put a bubble on Beefy Cake. So we were all so blinded because we all had a bubble on us, and we couldn't see what the heck was going on.
It's a good thing then that I have the Archiplasma, because that thing makes chump change out of the fucking bubbles.
Yeah, but in any case, you need to raise the danger level to 4 or 5, and they will continuously spawn. But the danger is that you will very likely get killed very quickly if they swarm.
Unless you're playing.
So you need a group to do it. Or you bring Ivara, you raise the danger level, but you keep them suspicious.
No, or if to go in tanky, you just bring in the Rhino.
The Rhino is helpful until a nullifier comes around. Or the Scrambler, because like this was another issue. With the Scramblers, they will group up and they will continuously spawn their orbs.
Again, I rarely have an issue with these guys. Again, thanks to Archiplasma. It's like this thing just kills everything.
It's funny that you say that, LT. Like Lycan, Snow, and I have a story about that. We went into the Temple of Prophet. I don't know why we went in there. Just randomly, we started raising the danger level. I was in Ivara. Lycan was Garuda. I don't remember what Snow was. I think she was Trinity. And I think Liam was with us, yeah, and he was a Rhino. And we go into the Temple of Prophet, and suddenly the danger level raises all the way to the max, and we start freaking out because we keep going down over and over. And me being Ivara, I'm squishy. I'm not supposed to be in a fight. I'm supposed to be picking your pockets and leaving. And at one point, I was forced to go invisible while Snow and Liam booked it. And Lycan's going like, you guys go ahead. I'm going to bulldoze my way out of here. And I watched him turn into a blender trying to get out of the Temple of Prophet while I just stood there in the middle of the room with nobody attacking me. And they got like halfway to Fortuna before I finally said, "You guys do realize I'm still here in the temple, right?" And I hear Lane go, "Oh fuck, we gotta go back and save her."
I'm still here. Send help.
Well, no, like it's weird with the enemies. Like once you kill one enemy while invisible, the danger level immediately pops to 1, and they all become suspicious. And even after you've killed all the people who are suspicious and the danger level is gone, they're still a little curious as to why there's something there, even though they can't see you. But no, I stayed behind. I mined all the minerals and kept the enemies confused, and then simply walked out.
It's like, and I'm gonna walk out now.
I am the Queen of Ivara, which is why she's in the corner.
Yes, always. But that's the thing, still. So we now, I guess this helps everyone. Now you know where to farm this stuff, so go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but yeah, overall, I do like Fortuna. I do like what they have to offer. I kind of wish I could turn off the snow because it is killing my PC slowly.
Yeah.
I have found ways to mitigate the lag, just shutting everything else off and just going into the Valis directly. Don't bother going to Fortuna.
That's definitely a good idea. Don't go through Fortuna to get to the Valis.
Yes.
Like do that for the starting thing because you have to do that. But afterwards, don't do that. You can get your bounty. Like you can start a bounty while you're in the Valis,
which is a godsend.
Mm-hmm.
But since we're talking about it, we might as well talk about the quest. So, overall, what did you think about Vox Solaris?
I feel bad for Legs.
Okay, then.
I feel bad for Legs. That giant orb that overheats showing up scared the fuck out of me. I was like, I didn't really understand what was going on. I was defending the door, and then like suddenly I see this giant thing approaching. I remember like the dev stream talking about how massive this thing is and how dangerous it is, and I've seen them get killed by it. And I'm thinking like, oh fuck, I gotta get out of there. Venari goes down. I have to rescue her. I almost go down. I get into the door. I start demanding that it closes. It's really slow to close as the thing is getting closer to the door. Door closes. I'm safe. I am not a happy person.
No, that when I was doing that part where you have to defend, because my thing is slow, as you can expect, I was getting pelted through the door. And what's worse, a nullifier got into the elevator with.
What's funny for me is like when I finished playing last night, I got into the elevator and one of those teeny tiny spiders got into the door. I then like sunk underneath the floor, so I had to like start playing hopscotch with it just to keep it from like slicing off my feet. Because like every time I would land, it would immediately slide over to where I was, and I would start getting like bleeding procs. So I had to like jump onto the walls and keep it away.
No, for me, here's the crazy thing: when I got into the guy, the AI for the nullifier just completely left it, and it was just standing there staring at me for a while before it eventually despawned, and I was like, okay.
The fuck?
Yeah, it's like those awkward elevator moments.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You would now know who dealt the smell. You farted and got the heck out of there.
Mm-hmm. But no, so the thing I liked about the entire quest was seeing how the Solaris acted, hearing how Neff was treating them over the intercom systems, how no one had freedom really. And yet finally it takes a lot to get Yutiko to finally come to realize, hey, fuck this guy. I'm taking back the mantle of Solaris, the Vox Solaris. And I was happy about that. I enjoyed this little guerrilla rebellion aspect.
I liked the fake Nefanyo that she wore.
Oh,
that was so funny. I like we're so far into the future, and you're using a paper mache hat.
Yes, and a voice modulator, which, by the way, a fun fact: if someone is using a deeper voice modulator or a higher voice modulator, you can, and that can really like help you figure out who it is. So, word to the wise to those who want to be anonymous in the future. Scramble up the voice as much as you can. Don't just stick to one pitch and hope it's enough.
I used clownfish or whatever the heck that was. It Kuzi used to use it would kill me.
Yes. Just use anything that will randomly reset.
I don't care if like the voice you pick is a alien, old man, or baby. Just don't go simply high pitch or low pitch.
Yeah, people will figure out who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I did like it. I felt that you fighting spirit back. It's quite exhilarating. And honestly, I can't wait to see what's next. What's this big plan to really stick it to Neff?
Other than the railjack that we saw where you blew up one of his ships while he was home,
yes.
and he narrowly escapes.
Like fucking
when that comes out, like we're all talking about like what our roles are. Lycan and I are the infiltration team. I am the stealthy, get in there and get out without being known, while he is the get in there, brutally kill everything and get out. Somebody was going to be Scotty from Star Trek. I don't remember who's going to be the pilot. I just know that we started like making jokes about like the fire extinguisher,
which is actually a penis.
Death Stream is tomorrow, so we'll know that. Yeah. Oh, come on. There's going to be yet another new frame.
Wow. Well, not release. It's just going to,
hinted.
Look. Yeah.
It's either going to be a new frame or it's going to be a deluxe skin. One of those.
It's probably going to be Atlas's deluxe skin.
Ooh, I'm excited for that one. I just need to rank up with the Solaris Unite, which is what I'm going to do once we're done here. And
I specifically just want to rank up with Little Duck specifically first because I want to wear the new shit.
Yeah, but no, I gotta.
Looks amazing.
We have a silhouette. Okay. I want to rank up with the Solaris Unite because I just need to do that so I can get the super rare minerals and build Garuda, and then I'm done. It's gonna take me forever to start working with Little Duck.
Oh yeah, I do not doubt it for a second.
Case in point, though, Fortuna is a great expansion. It's buggy, which is understandable. It look how long it took for the planes to be mellow. Like it took them to have like the second plague star for that to work. Plus,
hold on. Okay, so LT just sent me the dev stream.
So the silhouette for the new Warframe.
For the new dev stream and the new Warframe, it is.
What?
It's clearly a new Warframe. I'm sending it now.
Yeah. Also, are you seeing the thing I sent you?
Yes. Yes, I did.
I think oh, good gods. It's gonna be another snow-based one. Oh my god, it looks like a wild man.
That's what I was about to say.
It's like Tarzan or some shit. Or a Yeti.
Tarzan frame.
Here, I will show it.
It's either gonna be a new Warframe or maybe an
insane man just wandering around the Valis.
Get old Skyrim in this bitch.
Hey, I know you. Yep. I'm excited for this. Maybe.
It looks interesting. Let's see what DE brings to.
What bothers me is that if this is a Warframe, this would mean that this is like the second time where I am halfway through building or finishing a Warframe that would label it as me having every single Warframe in the game, and then they come up with a new one.
And it's like, fuck.
Yep. I believe I was almost done with Korra by the time Garuda was officially, like, teased.
And
No, sorry,
like,
not
oh,
Korra, Revenant. I finally got the last piece of Revenant. And Garuda starts coming out like, God damn it!
I can't win. Well, this is just more confirmation that DE hates us. Specifically us, our show.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if the Warframe is, like, Prime or not. As long as I have a Warframe, then I have them all. As soon as I finish
And
Garuda, I will have them all until this motherfucker shows up.
yes, okay, so Mesa Prime coming out. You know Shy's gonna have a field day.
Oh, nope, that's a timeout. There we go.
You know it, I know it. That
I
woman
saw Shallow's video about the Buzzsaw Mesa. Holy crap.
Yep.
Oh no, they're watching Harry Potter.
Okay then.
I hate Harry Potter.
But no, that's just what I'm thinking. It's just, my God, DE, we get it. The content drought is over. People are enjoying it. Can you please back off for?
Let us enjoy Fortuna for a while and Garuda. Like, did you notice how quickly people forgot about Korra?
Yes, I did. Even though she was such a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
People were like so angry that Korra was getting delayed. Comes out, nobody cares. Winds up getting forgotten. You know, I mostly blame that
She's
to
a
the
good
lack of.
Warframe.
Well, I mostly blame that for to the lack of a quest associated to her. That's it. Because
Yeah.
people tend to remember and enjoy Warframes that have like a connection to a quest. For
Yep.
example, Garuda, technically.
Or
She's connected
Inaros is another one.
Inaros was amazing, and I still
I love that
talking
one.
Inaros. I think DE would be able to get more people excited for the Warframes if they just added quests in. What's the word? Just added quests for the Warframes.
Still couldn't
People
get
will
her in the
remember
Twitch
them
drops.
more.
I kept getting her alternate helmet, which I already had.
Okay, so since we're talking about Garuda, let's talk about Garuda.
Yeah. I haven't been able to finish it yet. Lycan is obsessed, and he's only playing as her now. He's not Valkyr anymore.
All right. Well, from a design point of view, I like where we're going. She is strangely, what's the word I'm looking for? Not angelic. She is regal, strangely regal, and yet vicious and brutal at the same time. And it's amazing. I love the contrast. She honestly does strike me as the type of very mean, very kill you first kind of female, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like the type who would just mock you for showing a bit of mercy and just playing before killing someone. That's what she really strikes me at. Whereas Korra kind of strikes you as an elderly woman with a bit of a almost sexual sass to her. Garuda is the more vicious and psychotic.
I think with Korra, it's more she's a wizened street gang kind of character. Like I keep comparing her to like Catwoman or something. Like she's not old, but she's smart, and she will fight you. She will use whatever she has, which happens to be chains, and she will do whatever she can to get rid of you.
Yes.
It might not be bloody, but it will be very painful.
And it'll get you out of her hair long enough to do what she.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Garuda, like I said, I want to say she is sadistic when it comes to fighting and killing. That's what she strikes me as. Very someone who enjoys the slaughter and just can't get enough of it, but not so blood drunk that she doesn't stop and relish in the afterglow.
I think she is very much like Valkyr, but there is there's a quite the difference.
Yes,
While
that's actually quite fun.
Valkyr is the way she is through torture, through pain, through torment, and anger, Garuda has thoroughly snapped. That is all she knows. She is mentally numb. She is essentially the Doom guy.
Yes.
But the difference is she is like being very physical about it.
Yeah, she's the Doom guy. If the Doom guy threw down his guns and said, "Fuck it,
Yeah, fuck this. I'm just gonna strap these chainsaws to my wrists and we're gonna go."
Yeah, and just run right in. Actually, funnily enough, when you mentioned Valkyr, I forgot to mention something. You know those roller things in the Valis that they use against us?
Yeah.
The ones
the coils, yeah.
that look like... No, that look like a push cart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, believe it or not, these are...
Those are those weapons that stop Valkyr.
Yeah, but these are actually modified from that, and I found out why. Apparently, when they used the first time on Valkyr, it was pure sentient. They had managed to match the sentient's ability to mimic things, but reversed it suppressibility. That's what they did. But it led to a side issue. It caused warframes to mutate and develop new abilities as a way to counteract the suppression. And this led to, as we saw in the Valkyr trailer, massive slaughter at every turn.
Yep.
So now they've decided to abandon sentient components and are now basically just using current weapons with heavy modifications. No safeties, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting, because imagine what would happen if more warframes were exposed to more sentient, I guess, energy. What new abilities and forms would these warframes take?
Well, we've seen what happened with Revenant. He's like a prime example of all this.
Exactly.
I think originally Revenant was an Excalibur. Because like it's said in the description, he's saying there with his blade to cut the tentacle and send it back to where it came from. And then one day he stopped being so scared of it and he tried to touch it. So it's very likely he used to be a Excalibur or something similar to it.
Possible. I don't think it was the Excalibur. I think it was probably a copy.
Yeah.
Maybe even a grunt Tenno. You know.
I messaged Lycan, okay, professional review of Garuda from you. Go. And he's still typing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He had a two-hand Ninkana. Yeah. But, yeah, you have to remember, like, Revenant was not always what he is now. Like, this is the thing we've understood about the Warframes. Back in the day, they weren't what they are now. They were something else. So it is very
Usually
likely
people.
that Revenant used to be one of the Excaliburs.
Or something close to it, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing DE could... yeah, exactly. Here was the sword, so there's that to also keep in mind. But that's something that DE could explore with a deluxe skin. Because, they gave us a Valkyr deluxe skin, which showed us what she used to look like before Alad V skinned her. So it's entirely possible that DE could do the same with Revenant and show us what he was before becoming the Revenant. Again, there's the potential, and DE hasn't squandered this yet, if you ask me. I mean, sure, some of the deluxe skins are a bit odd, but most of them have somewhat of a consistent match or even a lore reason as to why they look like that. Anyway. But yeah, hold on. What's this? Yes.
Oh, he finally finished.
Okay, what did he say?
He was typing for so long, he only wrote like one sentence.
Jesus Christ, man.
She a pretty solid frame. Her blood pillar could use a base range buff. Other than that, she's got good stats and she's real fun frame to shred her enemies. Yeah. Yeah.
All right then.
Oh, he's typing again.
There we go. He's watching us in real time. It's like, no.
Like it if you are in the chat, please do say something. It's like we're talking to a ghost.
Let's see. Yeah. So again, I like Garuda. I like claw-like wings. I like the fact you can use them as an actual.
Her fourth ability could also get a little change, like maybe some interaction with her first ability or something. Yeah.
All right. But no, I like the claws. I like how DE has basically made it so you can use them if you don't have a melee weapon.
I love the way her claws move. I have yet to look at her feet though.
It's like again, that's the weird thing. It's like extra fingers, but in a good way.
Yeah. Like this is the thing about me. I love detail, especially in Warframe. Like whenever I get a new Warframe, I look at their fingers and then I look at their feet, especially their feet, because I want to see just how deep into detail they went, like how much dedication they had. Don't know why he's concerned about her fourth. That ignores armor. He plays her a lot, and he's usually a Valkyr main, like heavy Valkyr main, to the point where he made images for like transitions to different games with Valkyr. So he's kind of comparing her to that.
That, and he makes so much porn. No, I'm kidding.
Not really.
Yes. So again, Garuda is very interesting. I like the design. I haven't gone around to use her yet, but once I get a chance, I will test her out. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. I need to rank up with Solaris United and get those gemstones. Oh, he said some more. I'll pop in for a quick sec. Okay. So we might get the Garuda guy in here. That's the best way to describe it. Garuda guy.
Alright. Hang on, how long have we been going on this?
Surprisingly, 2 hours. Your mic has not messed up. Like here, granted, it has messed up here and there, but we've understood what you were saying.
Oh, good. I guess, should we push back the weekly things then to when you come back?
Oh no, by then it'll be December. Like we're leaving next week.
I see. No, that's what never mind. Well, again, we could put it for December since all things considering. Just saying. I mean, this is what we're doing right now is going quite well. So I think if we
don't
just do
jinx
this,
it. We jinx it. Like you jinxed it, and then I jinxed it twice earlier. Is gone okay. Also, I rediscovered that picture of Limbo Prime as Limbo Prime. Just all these old images in Warframe chat. The smiley face on Mag. The popcorn from Mag. Oh, hello, Lycan.
Hey.
Rev, this is Lycan. Lycan, this is Rev.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, your audio's okay. So we were like talking about Garuda, kind of comparing her dynamic to Valkyr, and the best we can put it as like personality wise, she's like the Doom guy. She's mentally numb and just tears things apart.
Basically, yeah. She just kind of goes in there, messes shit up. How they messed her up.
I've already told them the story about when you and I got left behind in the Temple of Prophet.
Oh, it was good times.
I see.
Yeah, it's even said in the trivia. Mentioned to be similar to Valkyr in her theme of gore, though where Valkyr is basic unbridled rage, Garuda is personified as cold, detached, and calculated.
Yes. But again, this brings up an interesting thought and dynamic, something everyone's been kind of mentioning. Is Garuda going to replace Valkyr as the insane gore machine?
No.
I gotta say it right now. No.
I think the two would actually work very well together.
Yep.
Like, Valkyr pops her war cry for Garuda, and I guess like Garuda pops the pillar before Valkyr goes hysteric. I don't really know how Garuda works because I haven't been able to build her yet.
Garuda, yeah, she would work really well with tank frames that have hunter adrenaline, and she pops her pillar, just infinite amounts of energy going towards the tank frames, and they're not losing too much health to where they'll die instantly. So it works really well with them. And her 4 causes slash procs on enemies, so
which is useful.
Slashes for days.
Yeah, speaking of 4, LT doesn't understand why her 4th ability needs work since it ignores armor.
It's got a very long charge, and you're just like that's all you're doing is just standing there charging it. And the concept of it is good. There's just not a lot of interaction with her abilities. I don't know.
I see.
I'm not much of a big fan of charging and standing there doing nothing, waiting.
Okay, it's like, I'm not gonna be mean or anything. It's like full information. said at like 2 words a second. Yeah, you'll find him a dick quite quick. But yes.
Put it simple, the charge needs work. There's a lot to Garuda that does need work. As usual with like most Warframes, when they come out, they need a little bit of tweaking. And sometimes things need to be removed or added.
Yes. And Garuda, she's almost there. She just needs a little something.
So it's more along the lines of Garuda, and it's more buffing, at least in some areas.
Yes, like just a minor tweak to Blood Pillar, make its base range bigger, because it's shit. Just base range is real shit.
Again, this is DE, known for like going at the extremes about.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we've nerfed this Warf. Time to nerf Trinity again.
Oof. Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
No.
Animation for Oh my god.
Yeah,
It's
that's
about
the
that.
ability he's talking about. I've noticed like a lot of Warframes who have like a fourth ability that needs charging. That is a very big problem. Like best example I can think of right off the top of my head is Limbo. When you use his fourth ability, which is that giant bubble, he stands there and charges it, and he can very easily get killed when he does that because he's still being shot all to hell unless he's in the rift, and even then, you still have a bit of a time restraint if you've frozen enemies that you have put in the rift. With Valkyr, when she uses her force, she can still very easily be killed because she has to go through an animation of her screaming, and she is still taking damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Trinity, it's an instant. It instantly happens. There is no charge. With Chroma, it's an instant thing. And I know that with Rhino, it doesn't matter how long that one takes. You're not going to kill him.
Nope. Speaking from experience.
Yeah, another Rhino main. But at least
Like-
with like Ivara, with her fourth ability, it's just to bring up those arrows. It is instant, but it's very, very annoying. Especially when you're trying to press 5 instead in panic. Because when you
It's like,
press
oh no,
because when you press 4, it removes your weapons, and you're stuck with the Artemis bow. So you only have a thin line of arrows, vertical or horizontal, that you can shoot. While you can shoot that really, really quickly, it's still very annoying to actually press the button.
You're right. But honestly, beyond this point, I do want to mention that again, there's a lot of potential for a good main.
Mm.
There's no doubt about it. It's just going to be a matter of what works and what doesn't. It's like, oh god, look at that! I can now, if I do this, I can just completely nuke the enemy team.
I'm starting to wonder what happened to the original Garuda. Because I'm reading the wiki trivia.
Mhm.
One of them is about her Bathory helmet. I'll get to that in a second. When Unico sends you the blueprint, it said that they found it embedded in a tangle of Valis fungus, like years ago. So I'm wondering what happened.
Well, we know that most of the warframes from the old war just basically, or the ones we find, fought, and many of them died during the conflicts before and after. So
Yeah.
it's entirely possible that Garuda just lured in a bunch of sentients, or maybe even Grenier, whichever happened, and just slaughtered them until eventually she just died from her own wounds and just laid there.
Or
And after
died
a
of
while,
exhaustion.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And eventually, her body just laid there, and eventually the the fungal growth just kind of grew over and tangled up the body, preserving it, but still.
Well, they would have plenty to
Thoughts?
feast on because fungus grows on rotting matter.
Her third ability killed her. No. Maybe.
Oh yeah. That's right. Garuda hurts herself to get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
It's likely she pushed herself too far.
Yeah, and died because of it.
Oh, I think I might know. That picture I sent you, Rev, with the arm?
Hold on. Sorry, everyone was cutting out there. Can you try again?
That picture I sent you with the arm.
Yeah.
I think that is what happened. Because in that area, there's fungus everywhere. And it's all tangled up and crazy, and there's this torn apart Orcan robot just sitting on top of a hill with its arm stretched out. I think that's what happened. She fought them.
The Orokin?
Well,
And would it be-
it is said for like in Naros' story that he fought the Orokin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it wouldn't be the first Tenno or Warframe betrayed the Orokin.
Yeah.
So if she fought that and died, then I'm not surprised. Still one hell of a fight.
If you go to LT, if you go up to the pond near the Temple of Prophet, there's a destroyed Orokin robot sitting on top of a hill behind it.
Yes. It's very clearly something built for war.
Yeah.
Maybe we're looking at a prototype of the Orokin's version of.
When I look at it, I start thinking about those giant spiders. Maybe that's why they look like that.
It's possible. Again, the information me and my friend found in terms of what the orbs are is they do mention they're brand new and something not seen before.
Mm.
Again, it's entirely possible that Neff just looked at these designs and said, "Let's replicate it into a."
Let's just steal this and say that it's something we originally did, like Disney did with Lion King.
It's just fucking Hamlet.
Oh no, it's not just Hamlet. It's actually a Japanese cartoon that came out well before it, about a little white lion.
Oh, I remember reading about that.
Yeah. I root for the little white lion.
Mm-hmm.
But I did mention there was that trivia about the Bathory helmet that I found very interesting. Well,
Right,
horrifying, but interesting. Garuda's alternate helmet, Bathory, is a nod towards Elizabeth Bathory, a Hungarian noblewoman held accountable for the deaths of many young women, and in some stories bathed in their blood to keep her
blood
beauty.
To make her young. Yeah, I've heard of her.
Elizabeth Bathory is often compared to Vlad the Impaler for their brutal acts of sadism.
Yes.
I can see where they came with the idea then.
Yes, apparently some speculated that they were vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Again, no proof.
No proof. I'm excited to try out Garuda, even though I'm probably going to get myself killed by my own hands.
It's like I'm pushing the 3 button, but why am I?
Like, this is why I'm kind of nervous about using Inaros. I like using them, but like when I use the Scarab armor, you lose health.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I don't use the Scarab armor. I just go in and eat everything.
I use the Scarab armor because I know my stupid ass is gonna get killed.
I eat everything and then I.
Mm.
It's funny because fat people.
I've been watching way too much Beard Bros.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anything else we should cover?
No,
I think we've covered everything in
Garuda Gore Queen. Don't use the fishing spears from Cetus on the fish in the Valis. You will ruin them, and
I saw that.
And Naros the Vor King. No. Don't use the fishing spears from Cetus on the fish in the Valis. It will ruin them and drop their rating.
Yes. Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I was going to point something out that I noticed. When I was doing bounties with Lycan and the others, Lycan is still here, by the way, I was playing as Titania. And for some weird reason, I thought, okay, I'm going to start shooting at the giant orb sitting up there. So I start shooting at its leg, and I noticed that I was actually destroying its shield. I actually saw blue numbers. And then when I had to wait for my ammo to reload, I started shooting again, and it went invincible.
Invisible as in what?
As in, no, invincible. I couldn't damage it.
Interesting. So I guess you've discovered how we're going to kill this.
I discovered a potential. Yeah, I whittled its shield down to half, and then I had to wait for my ammo to reload. When I started opening fire again, it wasn't working. So I think what's going to happen is that you aim for a leg, and once it goes invincible, you try and see which other leg you need to aim at, and then just keep doing that over and over.
So an improvement from the Jackal.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't much of an improvement, but whatever.
I thought it was like the source of its invulnerability was that green light above its head, but it's not.
Okay, LT brings up something. So you can take out the shields, but not the health.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Again, I get why DE is Fortuna so soon. Fine, it's just a lot still needs to be implemented, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So maybe delaying it ever so slightly should have been the goal. Again, this is me. I'll always say this. If something's not ready, then delay it. I can wait, and you'll get more out of it. Just be careful.
I've actually seen gaming communities become toxic because of delays. So, while do delay, just be careful when you do that.
Yeah, exactly.
At the very least, like, what they probably could have done was have like the spider that's roaming around stay still, and just have it be there for intimidation purposes only, like the one that's sitting up there.
Yes, or better yet, you could, I don't know, have Neff say something like, just taunt the Tenno and just play up with that whole, my technology is so superior, or something like that. Because this isn't the first time he's done it. Remember the index.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That quest was annoying.
Oh my god, it was.
I think I had to do it 3 or 4 times.
No, I got lucky and I just did, but it was still a pain.
I did 3 or 4 times because, like, the first few times I was helping somebody, but I completely forgot to check on it to make sure it was selected as one of my quests. So I helped this one person. I did not select it. I had to do this again. I helped another person. I did not select it. Helped them again. I didn't select it. Finally, I selected it, and I was the one getting help. Yeah, the orb on top of the building shoots mortars at you if you get max alertness in that area, because that's the enrichment labs.
Yep.
Which is very funny to run around as Ivara, because you had to play like hot potato and just steer clear of wherever it's bombing. It doesn't know where the heck you are, but it's going to shoot anyway.
Again, it's playing up with the whole this thing. It still has major kills.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that giant orb up there is the reason why people in the enrichment labs know that you're there when you're invisible.
Yeah, it's likely an early detection system, or it has something built in to help locate it.
Yeah, because if you stand still when it's bombing the area, it'll always home in on where you are. So you have to move, and then it'll home in again. You'll have to move. Yeah. Another thing, I still do not get Tony Hawk when I write on the MK drive. It's always Jack 3.
Or Ratchet and Clank.
Mostly Jack 3. Like, I've even heard somebody compare it to Spyro.
Yeah, it does feel like it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And I was also kind of confirmed, like, oh, this feels like Jack 3 when I realized you could go side to side. Because that was like a big thing that I remember about the Jack games. When you go side to side, you make this very interesting animation. Plus, that's the only quote-unquote skateboarding thing I've ever seen. But yeah, I think we've run Fortuna dry.
All right. Well, I think we should stop it here for now. It is late and I am falling asleep.
Yeah, we can do the monthly Gundam and Pokemon for December. I'm gonna go change November to December then.
All right. Sounds good. All right then. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into this week's Referendum Talk. Sorry it's been such a hectic time, but it seems we managed to fix it for now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
So, we will see you all again in December. Take care and good luck.
Thank you, Lycan, for joining us.
There's no problem.
Have a good night, dude.
You too.
Alright, now it's just me and the audience. I am planning to stream either a little later tonight. No, probably. I'm not so sure. Like, I want to stream tomorrow, but I have D&D. I'm going to be going to the other side of the mountains to celebrate a holiday that I absolutely despise. I can't stand it. But I have to go because it is family. And I am the youngest, and my family says so. Nope, no. Not this. Let me go to this one. There we go. So, you guys won't be seeing us till after Thanksgiving. I would suggest leaving comments or messaging us some topic suggestions. But I am too tired and crazy right now, delirious right now to even suggest that. This is the thing, I can't do that, LT. I really can't do that, because my mom likes to think that she's in control. Like, I try and say things as they are. I had a family member ask me how I was doing during my grandma's birthday, and I told her straight out, I don't know, I might not feel so good. And my mom glared because I was not feeling good. And I get sick every time I eat something while I'm over there. Unless it's like a bowl of cereal or a banana or my grandma's applesauce, which I really miss, by the way. Or pizza. Or even clam chowder. If it's like seafood, I'll eat it and I'll be fine. But I just can't stand Thanksgiving. I will never like Thanksgiving. And it won't matter. That's the wrong thing. There we go. And it won't matter who makes it or what is going on during it. I am not going to like it. But still, it's family. I mean, I'll still go. Won't be happy about it, but I'll go. But my usual spiel about don't click the creeper face, or if that link shows up in YouTube again, don't click on it. I have 2 banks that I can choose from, Gisa or Hapo. I'm going to see if I can find one, if I can pick one, and I will get them going. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all in December. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Even though I hate Thanksgiving, I might stream tomorrow or Sunday or extremely late tonight. We'll see. Have a good night, everybody.